Well, viewers, there seems to be no end to the debate on the creation of the Deputy CM post in Karnataka. From a statement by Cabinet Minister K.N. Rajanna to then another minister, Zamir Ahmed Khan, to conspiracy over the power tussle between Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar. From the Chief Minister and Deputy CM flying to the national capital to seers and priests from various communities wading into the burning discussion. The country has seen it all. Amidst all of this drama, Siddaramaiah Sarkar has been maintaining the standard all is well stand, even as the state continues to suffer from infrastructural issues and price rise. All of this that the people are continuing to witness, the case has also taken a caste color. First, it was Chandrasekhara Swamiji, a Vokkaliga community seer, who was batting for D.K. Shivkumar to become the chief minister. Now, the Lingayat seer, Srisela Jagadguru Swami, is pushing for ministers and leaders from his community. Listen in.
ಅವರು ಅಧಿಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸುಲಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಚ್ಚಾಡಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅವರೇ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದೇವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಿರೋದು, ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 135 ಸೀಟ್ ಗೆಲ್ಸಿರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು CM ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಈಗಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಈಗಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು.
ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆದರೆ ಮತ್ತು DCM ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಚರ್ಚೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. DCM ಹುದ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವೀರಶೈವ ಲಿಂಗಾಯತ ಸಚಿವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಆದ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು, ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಆಗ್ರಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಶ್ವರ್ ಖಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, MB ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, SS ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ್ ಶಾಮನೂರ್ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಥವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿ.
Now, this entire episode started with the Cabinet Minister K.N. Rajanna's one statement. Today, the Cooperation Minister also rekindled the issue. He asked if anyone would ever give up power if a seer or a priest asks him to do so. This was in the backdrop of the Vokkaliga seer appealing to Siddaramaiah to make way for D.K. Shivkumar to become the Chief Minister. But it's not just him. More reactions are coming in with D.K. Suresh, the Congress leader and brother of D.K. Shivkumar, also coming down heavily on those who have been demanding multiple deputy CM posts. He said that if anyone wants power, they should contest and win the elections to assume power.
ಯಾರು ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ನಡೀಲಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತ? ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲನ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಬಾರಪ್ಪ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಾನ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಅಧಿಕಾರದ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ನಾಯಕತ್ವದಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ನಾಯಕತ್ವದಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯನ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎದುರಿಸಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತರಲಿ. ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಬೇಕಾರಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಬೇಕಾರಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಬೇಕಾರಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾರಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. 33 ಜನರನ್ನು ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನಿಕ ಹುದ್ದೆ ಏನಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 33 ಜನ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜಾತಿಯವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
Now, with the party and the government being hammered from all sides, Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar have stood their ground, while the Chief Minister said that the statement of the seers does not have any bearing. D.K. Shivkumar shot down the rumours on creation of multiple deputy CM posts. He also said that strict action would be taken against MLAs and ministers who give statement on this topic. Listen in.
ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಗಳಿಗೂ ರಾಜಕೀಯಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಮಚ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವ್ರಿಗೂ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಏನು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇರ್ತದೆ? ಯಾರು ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು? ಮತ್ತೆ ಶಾಸಕರು. ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಸಕರು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಯಾವ DCM ಚರ್ಚೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಅಭಿಮಾನದ ಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾರ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ ನನಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ನಾನು ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರು, ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬರು, ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನೋ ನಮ್ಮದೇನೋ ನಾವು ಪಕ್ಷದ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಯಾವ MLAನೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದ್ರ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ರಿನೂ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ, ಯಾವ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Now, the BJP's Karnataka ally, the JDS too, mounted attack on the state government. The JDS leader Nikhil Kumaraswamy opined that the Congress government will not survive for long. He also added that even if 5 or 10 deputy chief ministerial posts are created, people will not trust the government anymore. On the other hand, the Congress party claimed that this is an internal matter which the party will solve and other parties don't have the right to interfere.
ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರವೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದಿನ ಉಳಿಯೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು CM ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿನ್ನೂ 10 ಜನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದು ಕೂರಿಸ್ತಾರ, ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಇನ್ನೂ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದು, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಜನವೇ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಯಾರನ್ನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾರೋ ಅಥವಾ 5 ಜನ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೋ 10 ಜನ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೋ, ಇದು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ ನಮಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜನ ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಅವ್ರು 135 ಜನ ಶಾಸಕರನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ವಿರೋಧ ಪಕ್ಷದವರಾಗಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
There is a demand in the Congress party that 3 deputy CMs should be made in Karnataka. This means that the infighting between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah is constantly increasing. It is well known that after the election debacle in Karnataka, DK Shivkumar has taken a swipe on Mr. Siddaramaiah. And now Mr. Siddaramaiah, to undermine DK Shivkumar, is propelling and fueling the idea of multiple deputy CMs being made. Today, Karnataka is fast slipping into political instability.
So is there political instability in Karnataka? Should the people of Karnataka be worried because governance and development is taking a backseat in this power tussle that's openly playing out? That's the question. Dr. Sudha Halkai, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Shyam Prasad Meka, leader of the Congress party, as well as Sandeep Anirudhan, founder of the Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru, joining us on the broadcast. Thank you all for joining us. I want to begin with Shyam Prasad Mekaji. Mekaji, again and again we're seeing such headlines coming in from Karnataka. The chief minister, the deputy chief minister are in the national capital. There are leaders who are speaking against each other. The seers who are demanding that the chief minister should give way to the deputy to become the CM. What's happening?
We are not a party that runs by the wishes of the seers, right? So we are a party that runs through the democratic process, and this is a non-issue. There is no power tussle. These are just the headlines that are being propagated by BJP. There is a power struggle. We are a team, and the team is working. And our top leaders from Karnataka have given already clarifications. If there are any apprehensions, they were clarified. Where is the issue? I don't see any issue.
Okay, you're saying there's no issue. DK Shivkumar's brother, DK Suresh, says if people are so power thirsty that elections should be fought under their leadership. That's the dig that he has taken, saying that the demands are coming from people who are power thirsty. Where are the demands coming from? It's coming from within your party.
No. DK Suresh ji is actually mentioning about the prime ministerial aspirations of the people in BJP, and he is suggesting to them. He's talking about the power tussle within BJP.
No, when he was specifically asked about the CM and deputy CM, his brother DK Shivkumar is the deputy chief minister. He says if people are so power thirsty, then elections should be fought under their leadership. And he says that if they win, then they can get whatever power they want. He seems to be clearly hinting that the elections were fought under DK Shivkumar.
No, listen. See, Congress party will never fight the elections under any one person. Congress party fights the election on a people's agenda. As a team, Congress party will fight the election. The BJP fights the elections under some leaders, and even when they lose, the same leaders will become the face of their government. and they will have internal
Okay, but
bickering.
look at the
These are all
dignity he is
BJP
taking at his
issues,
own
not
government. He
at all.
says the constitution doesn't bar even 33 people becoming the deputy CM. So that's clearly an attempt to undermine the power of DK Shivkumar, who is currently the lone deputy chief minister of Karnataka. Let me take in a word from Dr. Sudha. Dr. Sudha, do you agree with what Shyam Prasad Meka is saying, that this is not a power struggle? This is just voices from within the party. What's wrong?
See, we have to keenly observe that there are a lot of serious issues that has to be dealt with in the Karnataka today, like the steep hike in the fare charges, take it from, in all the commodities, take it from vegetables to the lands. So there is no doubt about it. And when it comes to the life of the people, there are so many suicides taking place, there are so many murders taking place, the law and order has completely collapsed, and there are deaths even due to the negligence from the health sector side as well. And the suicide of Mr. Chandrasekhar, which has opened and exposed the ST scandal of 185 crores, is still being not attended properly. Although the special investigation team has been constituted, they are not working on it. They have not questioned Mr. Nagendrappa, who has resigned from his ministerial post. And with an immediate effect, I should say that, Mr. Siddaramaiah should resign from the chief minister post, as he being the finance minister. Everything is done under his nose, and he's not answering to the people of Karnataka. And this is absolutely a diversion tactics. Now and again, since past 1.5 years, they are doing this. Whenever there is serious issues in Karnataka, which are being questioned by the common people, they come up with this diversion tactics, and the tussle between
Diversion
Mr.
tactics by the
Siddaramaiah
Congress
and
party. You have at a time like this the chief minister and the deputy chief minister also being in the national capital amid the speculations that there could be big changes. But Sandeep Anuradham, who is politicizing the issue? Is the Congress party too busy in the power tussle, weighed down by the guarantees that they have promised to the people of Karnataka? Or is it the BJP that's not playing the role of a constructive opposition, raising non-issues?
Well, I think being given a mandate like it has, the Congress party should behave far more responsibly. The people of the state have great expectations. The Congress won over the tide of popular opposition to corruption by the previous administration. So we expect the Congress party to behave, apply itself to governance, planning, improving the situation of the people. The state is facing huge crisis. Most people are not aware we are going through a horrible climate crisis, water crisis going on throughout the state. You're going to have farm production problems. You're going to have unemployment issues. So this is the time governance should be at the top of every minister's mind. Governance should be at the top of every party person's mind. Governance should be at the top of everybody involved with the governance. We also see that law and order is slipping very badly. In fact, as civic activists, we are facing threats from builder mafias and people like that. I'm getting false police cases filed against me. But the Home Minister is apparently not in tune with what's happening. Governance is flipping.
You heard this is not a voice from the BJP that's speaking. These are citizen voices who are saying, look at what's happening to the law and order situation in the state. And you had just a few months ago the Deputy Chief Minister of the state saying that development has taken a backseat because we need to fulfill the guarantees. Now elections are over. Now the focus is on the power tussle within the Congress. And these are not, like we mentioned, questions that are coming in from the BJP. You just heard a citizen voice as well saying, clean up your act. This is not why Karnataka voted for you.
Yeah, totally. I agree with the citizen voice. And the party and the government in Karnataka is focusing on resolving the current pressing issues, like the water issue in Bengaluru and the traffic issues and the overall state development. We welcome any criticism or any suggestions on these issues, but I think we are not going to waste our time on the hypothetical political crises or power tussles that the BJP might imagine.
Hypothetical power crisis. So can you tell us why the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister was in the national capital? Because their visit came at a time when there were a lot of voices coming in from within Karnataka that there should be a leadership change.
See, we are a national party. Our leaders will go to the capital of the nation anytime. We have 100 things. So you can't simply link it up with any political crisis anywhere. How many BJP leaders are traveling to Delhi, right?
Okay. Dr. Sudha, very quickly respond to that. What's wrong if the Chief Minister and Deputy CM come to the national capital? This power tussle is only being imagined by the BJP.
See, I have told then also, now also, this is just a diversion tactics, and the tussle between both of them is since quite long. This is not something that has to be addressed. The thing is, there's a serious thing that has to be noticed in Karnataka. Take it law and order, take it dengue and malaria. More than 1,000 numbers are being breached in a day, and there's casualties taking place, and there's steep hike in the prices, and there's so many corruption cases that have been going on because of the bureaucrats. The officers are committing suicide, and this diversion tactics is started now and again. They play this diversion tactics by the Congress government. And we, as a constructive opponents, are very well working for the welfare of the people.
Okay, working for the welfare of the people as the opposition. Last word from Sandeep Anirudhan as well. For the Congress party, if they're listening, very quickly in 30 seconds, what is your appeal on what should be the top priority? Because the issues that have been raised by you previously of law and order, yes, but also of civic apathy in Bengaluru has made headlines over the last several years, and not much seems to have changed on the ground.
See, the real reason there is lack of planning and governance in Bengaluru and Karnataka is because whoever comes to power don't speak to citizens afterwards. We need a robust channel for public consultation. It should be structured. It should be properly made into a law. All laws and amendments should have pre-legislative consultation. Every project should have public consultation. I think the government should get busy talking to public instead of talking amongst themselves or with shares or other things. I think they should start focusing on citizens. Only then
all right. Leave the politics within your party aside. Focus on governance. Focus on the people of Karnataka. We hope the Congress leaders and the Congress leadership in Karnataka is listening. We'll have to leave it at that. Thanking you all for joining us this evening on The Debate.